Hi, this episode is Tampere, Finland. It starts off with me exhausted because I was in Gdansk and I stayed up all night before flying over to Tampere. Tampere and Finland in general are the first place I went to where they have the midnight sun. This episode starts with me going around, seeing some of the views of the city, and then going on a free city tour where I see a lot of churches. One of the biggest disappointments to me in Finland was I didn't get to hear the stereotypical Finnish accent, which sounds like robot aliens with the monotone voice, because they generally have pretty good English. And the funny thing to me about this episode is at the end, I am still afraid to hitchhike, which, as of this recording, is not the case. So, Tampere, Finland. Past 5:30 in the morning. Everything's going smoothly. Gonna get to Tampere in 2 hours or so.
Państwa pozostanie na miejscach i nieodpinanie pasu bezpieczeństwa do czasu całkowitego zatrzymania się samolotu oraz wyłączenia sygnalizacji zabezpieczenia.
Here I am. It's 8:15 in the morning. It's cold. It's early. I'm walking to the public bus. The public bus is a couple euros cheaper, but doesn't leave for 3 hours. So I'm walking back to Terminal 2. Sunday morning. Top of the hill, in between two lakes. Can't see them because of the trees. So maybe you could peek through to see that. I'm gonna have a donut and some tea, and then the other way is another lake. So you can't really see it, but that's a lighthouse, and then over here is their Space Needle-like restaurant landmark. Reminds me of Central California. Benches, trees, well-kept roads. Certainly not Poland. This is the fancy part of town. And for the record, it's 9:30 in the evening, and that's the sky. It is the second longest day of the year here, only a few seconds shorter than the longest day, which is tomorrow. And it's going to be light for a while. It's after midnight here, and this is what it looks like. Could be 7 o'clock somewhere else. Earlier or later, but not midnight in most places. It's 2:20 in the morning, and I'm gonna go to sleep. And this is what it looks like. The center of Tampere, that's the theater, and I am currently going on a tour. So I am not going to spend too long. It's a free walking tour, but you tip them at the end, so we'll see how much the guy earns. So apparently Finland's one of those countries where you can voluntarily pay a tax that goes to the churches, and the guy here says that 80% of the people do that. I know there are a few other countries that also, you're an official member of the church unless you say you're not to the government, and then you pay in. Otherwise, you say you're not, you don't pay the tax. Haven't had any personal recommendations, but the Big Tits erotic restaurant might be a find for you in Tampere. It's a garden maze. Ooh. Where does it go? How am I gonna find my way out? No! Lost forever. another place that looks like a film set. Looks like we're on a lot. Look at that. I feel like I need a badge. Orthodox Church. Looks like Russia, but it's not. Still Tampere. Very different interior. The harbor. Apparently that bridge wasn't here a year ago and is yet to be completed. Local delicacy, black sausage. It's like black pudding. I'm not going to eat it, but hey, it's the delicacy. We're in Plevna, and they brew all their own beer here. Another thing that I'm not going to have. Bought him a beer for his time. Now I'm off to say goodbye to my host, get my things, then take a train. The guy was telling me I could have hitchhiked, but sort of on a schedule, and I'm curious about the train too. It's only 20-something euros, so that's not bad. Better than waiting and not being sure, and yeah, I think I'll justify it. Bye-bye, Tampere. This was the cheapest train, 22.50, and I will be in Helsinki in a couple hours or so. That's it. This is the sort of game where you have a beer in your hand, a cigarette in your mouth, and then you throw the thing.